Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
You got the nickname Tommy Triples. You like that nickname?
I do. Gap-to-gap hitter that I am, with also the speed to be able to turn those doubles into triples. So
I catch up with Tommy Edman. Plus,
I was working out in there on the top of my roof.
A Cardinal prospect finds a creative way to work out. And later,
talking to animals, without a doubt, especially after watching all the Marvel movies and all their superpowers.
We ask some Cardinals what superpower they would like to have. It's all ahead on Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. Last June, Tommy Edman made his first appearance in the big leagues. He had quite an impact, earning the nickname Tommy Triples. I had a chance to sit down with him at spring training and talk about his successful first season. Well, first of all, congratulations on a great year. As I told you yesterday, I thought that part of the success of the organizations was the ascension of Tommy Edman. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
It was fun watching you. You got the nickname Tommy Triples. You like that nickname?
I do. I think that is kind of a big part of my game, kind of combining the gap-to-gap hitter that I am with also the speed to be able to turn those doubles into triples. So that's kind of something I take pride in, is the number of triples I hit in a year.
And he drives this out to the gap in right center. Off the base of the wall, Edman is second, he'll race for third. It's dug out of the ivy, one out triple, Tommy Edman.
His sixth triple for the Cardinals. He leads the Cardinals in triples.
Now, when we left spring training last year, did you have any idea that the year would end the way it did?
No, I didn't. Haven't had a little bit of success during spring training. I had an idea that I had a chance to get called up at some point during the year, but I didn't expect the amount of success that I had and being able to contribute to a team that went to the NLCS.
Yeah. Now, you had plans, and I feel a little hurt here because I didn't get an invitation.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
that. I think you had made plans to get married and stuff, and those plans were interrupted a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. So we originally planned for the wedding to be on October 5th. And that was before I was on the roster, so I thought I was going to be free during that time. And once I got called up in June, I started to think, wait a second, I might have to change that date because we could be playing playoff baseball on that date. So we ended up having to move it back to November, and her family was great during that whole time, and we made it work.
What was the biggest adjustment for you, making it up here to the big leagues?
I think when I first got called up, I think the pitchers didn't necessarily have a specific plan on the way that they were going to attack me. And once I got a few more ABs in the majors, they started to see what pitches I struggled with, what pitches I hit well. So I kind of started to see them adjust their approach towards me. And it took me a little bit to recognize that, figure out what they were trying to do to me, and adjust back. So I think the pitchers are just smarter, have a better game plan, are able to execute that better, which forces me as a hitter to be able to do the same thing back to them.
In our conversations we've talked about, being able to play on both sides of the ball. Do you get any more enjoyment out of getting a big hit or making a big play?
I think, anything that either helps us score a run or prevent a run, I get a ton of enjoyment out of. I think that, obviously it's the same on both sides of the ball. A run scored or a run prevented is just as good as a run scored. So I think that's something that I really like to be able to contribute both offensively and defensively.
Now, who's had the biggest influence on you here in the organization?
Honestly, the whole coaching staff on the big league team has been amazing. Right when I got called up, at Wrigley, I got called into the coach's office, and we went over everything that I would need to know for that day and for the rest of the season. And they really do an unbelievable job of preparation, making sure we're all ready for every game, whether that's base running or defensive positioning or anything like that. Stubby has been great with helping me out on defense, and Willie helped me out in the outfield as well. And we also do a great job with Pop. Does a great job with base running and helping pick up some cues on pitchers. So, that's just the one thing that's really stuck out to me so far, is how prepared the whole coaching staff is.
When in talking about the game, there's always the question of sophomore jinx.
Mm-hmm.
Have you given much thought to that?
No, not really. I think that, I mean, that's more of just a mental thing that you can kind of get in your own head, say, okay, I had this success my rookie year, so I'm going to try to do a little bit more in my sophomore year or my second year. I think that as long as I'm able to stay within myself and not really try to change my game too much, I think it won't be too much of a big deal.
Okay, so that's your game plan going into your second year?
Yeah, I think just kind of continue to what I did well last year and make little small improvements rather than trying to change one big drastic thing. I think just continue to do what I do well.
Well, congratulations, as I said, and good luck this year.
Thank you, Ozzie. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be with you.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
Roof of my house, I put it like a blanket and make it like a square, you know, like a strike zone.
Getting loose on the roof. Also coming up,
one of the new things that we've been working on that we're really excited to do is to have contactless order, contactless pay.
opening day on the Cardinals Nation rooftop. Cards prospect Johan Oviedo returned home to Cuba after spring training shut down in March. He couldn't always go to the field, but found an innovative way to keep his arm strong. Our Brett McMillan has more.
Prospect Johan Oviedo usually throws off a mound, but during the COVID pause, he made do throwing somewhere else.
Well, I went back to Cuba. I decided to spend the quarantine with my family, and I was like working out in there on the top of my roof. On the roof of my house, I put it like a blanket and make it like a square, like a strike zone. So I was like throwing the ball against that thing, so to keep my arm loose. My dad made it for me. It was fun.
The family's flat roof is accessible by stairs, and it was his only place to throw for the first month and a half of his stay in Havana. It's a good thing that he remained sharp, too. Eventually, he was extended an invite to the team's summer camp here at Busch Stadium. And then he was reassigned to the club's alternate training site in Springfield, just a single step away from the major leagues.
I was getting ready for this opportunity. I'm not gonna say that I will go this far away. But in my mind, I was like, expecting to do more than I was supposed to probably be, or, I was in my mind it was always make my debut this year. I don't know if it will happen. I just want to be ready if they give me the chance.
I'm glad his head's around that because, and it should be. He should have that expectation to know where he's at in the trajectory of his career and to know the work he's putting in, and also to get a little bit of a gauge of where he is relative to, the guys that do perform up here. And the more you're around it, the more you get an understanding of where you fit. And it's good to see he's got his head around, thinking he fits and belongs and is ready and wanting to.
The 22-year-old owns a 6'5" frame. Even though he's never pitched above Double-A, he certainly looks like a big leaguer when standing on the mound. And that size adds a little boost to his stuff, too.
And I think that's what you're seeing a lot of numbers of, okay, why does this guy's fastball get on you? And he's a tall guy in general, but he's actually throwing closer to the plate than most guys would because of his reach.
Even if spring training and summer camp are as far as Oviedo goes this year, it'll still have been a successful season, and he can thank his time on the roof for keeping him sharp. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Straight ahead, opening day just beyond the left field gate. That's after the break.
For a ball game. Flaherty is locked in. Edman. Oh, what a catch! Goldschmidt with a drive. At the wall. Gone. Long sliding. Oh, what a catch! He's done it again. At the wall. Get out of here. Carpenter. Here comes Molina. He's safe. It's a sweep of the doubleheader. Unbelievable.
We are excited to watch baseball again in St. Louis. Opening weekend, Cardinals Nation had a rooftop experience for fans. It was socially distanced and featured a great view of the stadium. Let's take a closer look at opening day from the Cardinals Nation rooftop.
And a strikeout for Flaherty. Back-to-back Ks to start this inning. At the wall, it is gone!
Cardinals baseball is back in St. Louis, and fans celebrated opening day from social distance seating at Cardinals Nation.
Here at Cardinals Nation, Ballpark Village, right next to Busch Stadium, we are so excited to be back open and welcome fans back here in St. Louis. With everything going on, we've put in a lot of measures with staff, with expectations of fans and guests to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible.
Along with socially distanced seating, masks are required of all guests. Cardinals Nation also offers contactless order.
One of the new things that we've been working on that we're really excited to do is to have contactless order, contactless pay. So we have a technology solution that allows you sitting at your table or even sitting at our expanded patio outside to be able to use your smart device to scan the table to get into our menu and select any menu item that you want.
And you can't begin a new season without new food and drink options.
But we have a new St. Louis dog that is from G&W sausage, topped with Jardinera and Provel cheese for the St. Louis touch. And we have Budweiser beer brat, so boiled in Budweiser beer gives it that great flavor. We did bring in spicy cheese curds. I think that'll be a nice hit. We all know that there's these hot summer days, and we've got a selection of boozy shakes that'll help cool you off. This is the banana cream pie. There's a chocolate vanilla bourbon one. Really nice selection. And like I said, all new mixed drink cocktails as well. So there's a lot there.
The Birds are back in town and ready for a safe and exciting season. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Not everybody could be at the rooftop. Most fans are watching from home, but Schnucks is bringing the ballpark experience to the few lucky fans. Let's take a look.
Some of my favorite people, baseball and the Cardinals, and then you got Schnucks, and then the Folds of Honor is just a tremendous organization.
Go Cards! Woo!
Last year we got to go to opening day, and this year we've been fretting for months. What's going to happen? Are we going to have a season? But then we saw on TV that there's a chance to have Busch Stadium come to your house. And Margot was the one who saw it, and so we thought, well, let's try. Let's see if we can do it. That'd be a great way to kick off the season.
Oh, it's a blast, once in a lifetime. I saw this on the news and do a double take, and it was like everything we love at once brought to our house. It was a no-brainer to bid on it, and we were happy to bid to support a great cause.
Yeah, Folds of Honor is something that we know of and support, to support the families, the kids and the spouses of veterans that have fallen or are injured, disabled, is awesome.
Schnucks is a brilliant idea to do this, and so it's just so fun. Enjoy some good baseball finally, and yeah, have a good time.
We really appreciate Schnucks, the Schnuck family, what they do with the community, and this is just another great thing. And to have as Margot said, the roundup every time we go in there to help support this for the month, it makes you feel good every time you go in the grocery store.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum has a new exhibit showing off some hardware. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni. Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals radio archives. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcast or at cardinals.com/podcast. The American Cancer Society is installing 42 hand-painted doors around the St. Louis area. The doors illustrate the journey of cancer patients throughout the region. The Cardinals are participating in the campaign with a door in front of Busch Stadium. Here's more.
We launched what we're calling 42 Doors of Hope. It is a campaign to engage the public to help us raise awareness and also revenue for our new Hope Lodge that's being built here in the city of St. Louis. And what the Hope Lodge is it's a free guest house for cancer patients and caregivers to stay free of charge as they're kind of traveling into the city to get their treatment at area cancer centers. We have 42 different artists that have painted doors, and those doors reflect maybe a cancer journey that they are, personally kind of affected with, or a close family member or friend. And those doors have been installed in 42 different locations across the St. Louis metro area. And when you talk about the number 42, that resembles how many guest suites will be in the new Hope Lodge once it's finished. So 42 different suites for those patients to stay in. Think of a journey, and that's kind of what a door resembles, is when you go through a door, you're going through a journey. Maybe it's a journey through your house, maybe it's a journey through some other organization, business, but cancer patients go through that journey as well. And, it may be dark for them, but there's hope kind of at the end of that kind of journey. So just remember the cancer patients and what they're going through when you visit those doors.
The St. Louis Cardinals have a rich history of accomplishments, and the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum has a new exhibit showing off their hardware. Let's take a closer look.
Every year in our special exhibits gallery, we do a new exhibit, and this year it is Bringing Home the Hardware. So we're bringing together some of baseball's best individual awards that Cardinal players have won over the years. We have assembled about 20 different trophies. 5 of these are part of our personal collection here at the Cardinals, but the rest are all from current players and alumni. We have Stan's 1948 MVP trophy. We have a collection of trophies that are his, that were from our private collection, that not many people get to see, and this was an opportunity to bring them out. So part of this exhibit is giving fans the opportunity to see trophies that they've never seen before. Mo has 2 trophies in his office. One of them is from the 2011 World Series. It is the Organization of the Year Award, and I clean it for him every season. And so this season I asked, hey, can we borrow this for our exhibit? And he said, sure. And so fans get to see that, something they've never seen before. It's the 1967 World Series trophy. It is the first trophy that was ever given for a World Series. It's made by Balfour. It's gold and gaudy and just wonderful, and it's one of my favorites that we have in our collection. So our Cardinals legacy is very rich with star players, if you will, and honestly, it seemed like a natural fit. The items are presented in such a way that you get to learn the history of the trophy as well as the player that won.
In just a bit.
Hey, puppy. Hey, kitty, frog, lizard, whatever. How are you feeling?
What superpower would you like to have? We find out next on this week's Ask a Cardinal. Stay with us.
The Cardinals captured a division championship in 2019, and they're after another NL Central crown in 2020. The Cardinals Media Guide is an essential for any St. Louis baseball fan. All the notes you could need for the 2020 season, and a great keepsake to remember the 2019 Redbirds. Get your copy at the Cardinals team stores inside Busch Stadium, or visit cardinals.com/media guide.
It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Andrew from Instagram asked, if you didn't play shortstop, what other position could you see yourself playing? Well, I could see myself, of course, playing second base or somewhere in the infield. But if I had to choose, it would probably be center field because of freedom. I'd be like the morning dew, and that's all over. The only thing that would be different, the transition would be just a different angle, seeing the ball come off the bat from a different angle. But I don't think that it's a big transition for a guy to move from one position to the other because, you know, everything is quick. You have to stay in the game, and it's all about fielding and creating the angles that you're looking for. If you want to submit a question, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click on the Ask Ozzy tab. And we'll be right back. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Well, do backflips count? Let's find out what our Cardinals picked on this week's Ask a Cardinal.
I would choose being able to fly. After having grown up in Southern California with all the traffic, I've thought many times about how I could just skip it all if I could just fly out of there.
Reading minds, for sure. Talking to animals, without a doubt. I've thought about this, especially after watching all the Marvel movies and all their superpowers. I would absolutely talk to animals.
I would say flying back and forth Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Hey, puppy. Hey, kitty, frog, lizard, whatever, bird. What's wrong? How are you feeling? Do you have a headache?
Being invisible. I'd probably say to fly. I mean, it's the stock answer, but definitely after the drive down here, I would definitely say fly.
Fast, speed. That way, it'd be easier to steal bases and, run fly balls down.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider and on YouTube.